Hey there, fifth graders. All right, we've been getting really good at multiplying with whole numbers, but now, check this out. 3 and 5/10. We're starting to multiply with decimals. So multiplying with decimals, it's really important to make sure you estimate first so you can check to see if your answer is reasonable, because it's very easy to misplace a decimal and then be off by huge amounts. So first we're going to round the factors to estimate our product. So that 3 and 5/10 I'm going to round up to 4, and that 42 I'm going to round down to 40. So we'd have 4 times 40, which would be 160. So we know our answer is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 160. Now area models look just a little bit different, only a little bit, when we're working with decimals. So let's get going. Hold on. I'm going to rethink where I put that line. More like this. All right, so on one side, I've got 40, I've got 2, and over here I've got 3, and then I have 5/10. So part of this is pretty simple. 40 times 3, 120, 3 times 2, 6. But then over here, 2 times 5/10. Well, 2 times 5 is 10. So just like how I like to cross out my zeros and just deal with numbers, I'm going to do that. So 2 times 5 is 10. But then I know it's not 2 times 5, it's 2 times 5/10. So I took my decimal out and I'm putting the decimal back in. Then 40 times 5/10. Well, 40 times 5 would be 200, but then I'm going to put my decimal back in. I'm going to scooch it over one place. And so then I just have to add these guys up. So 6 and 1 and 0/10 is 7, and this is 120, plus 20 is 140. Let's check it out with the standard algorithm. So I've got my 5 times 2, which is 10, so I carry my 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus that 1 for 21. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Add it up, 0, 7, 4, and 1. Now here it would be really easy to say, oh, well my answer is 1,470. But it's not. Remember our estimate? Remember our estimate up here? 160? Is 1,470 anywhere near 160? No. So I forgot to put a decimal back into my product. So here's the trick. I have one number behind a decimal here, so that means I'm going to have one number behind a decimal down here. There it goes. 147. Is that in the neighborhood with 160? Yes, it is. Much better. So just like we did on the other problem, we're going to round and estimate first. So let's see, I'm going to make that 15 and 6/10. I'm just going to make that into a 20. And I'll make 73 into a 70. So 20 times 70, we know it's really 2 times 7 with some extra zeros. So our product's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,400. Let's get to our area model. Okay, this one's going to look a little bit different because I have a few more places to work with. So, oops, that's not where I want it. Go back, go away. Ah. Here we go. All right, so here we're going to have 70, we're going to have 3, then we're going to have 10, 5, and 6/10. Oh, multiplying by 10 is super easy. You know that's our favorite thing to do. Boom, boom. Multiplying by 5 is pretty easy too, though. And boom. And boom. Now 6/10. We're going to pretend it's 6 for a sec. So 6 times 3 would be 18. But then we put our decimal back in. So just like I talked about earlier, when we're multiplying, there's one number behind the decimal when you start. There better be one number behind the decimal when you finish. So then I have 6/10 times 70, which, let's see. Well, 6 times 7 would be 42. But 6 times 70, I add my 0, but then I have to add my decimal back in. So there I am back at 42. So then we're going to add everybody up. Let's see. 45. 1,050. All right, and we'll see if everything matches up. All right, let's test out with our standard algorithm. 15 and 6/10, 73. 3 times 6 is 18, carry our 1. 3 times 5 is 15, plus that 1 is 16, carry another 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And here we are down here. 7 times 6 is going to be 42, carry our 4. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 4 is 39. And we're going to carry our 3. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10. So I want you to check out, do our numbers correspond? Sort of. Sort of. And let's check out what that difference is for a sec. Because when I add them up, because look, instead of 46 and 8/10, I have 468. Instead of 1,092, I have 10,920. I have the same digits, but I'm off by a decimal placement. So we're going to fix that in just a sec. So add them up. I know it's not 11,388, because up here I estimated it would only be around 1,400. So, just like we talked about, I have one number behind the decimal up here. I need to have one number behind the decimal down here. Okay, 1,138 and 8/10. Much closer to 1,400. There we go. All right. Good luck on your problem set.